Somehow I just had a feeling that that woman was fake. The woman who tried to who acted like she was in love with the father. In episode 9, you see that she was actually working um with Dehe's mom, quote, mom, and they took the lottery ticket from him. Like, that's crazy.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another review on the Review Garden.
But yeah, I'm like, she's looking way too fake. Either she's really in love with the father, or there's something going on. And then look at it. Now the two of them were working with the mom, and the whole reason she knew that he visited that place was because she was following everyone and learning their routine, which also, you know, was useful later on in episode 9. So um so he took the father took the lottery ticket from the mom's hand, and then um he went to go give it to the guy, and then, which was way more than he actually wanted. And then they showed you a clip where his mom, quote, mom, was talking to those two. So she ended up getting the lottery ticket that Dehe gave to um, the guy's mom. So now, and she didn't stop there. She also sent pictures of him at the bar with other women to his wife, right? So when he got home, he got in trouble with his wife. But I'm like, I get it. Like, the cheating is bad, right? But he's like, oh, he wasn't really cheating. Um, he was, I don't know, meeting other people, just going there to, use his own interests. Like, but you could understand both sides, right? She's hurt because she thought her husband, who was supposed to be there for her, is not there for her, right? But at the same time, she's also in her own world, right? It's all about her dreams. She needs to sleep. She needs this. She needs that, right? And it's like, it's weird because you never paid attention to him. You never asked him what he wanted. First of all, he's a regular person that married you, and you didn't even, like, you expected him to keep your secret. You expected him to, and he was always the outcast, quote, outcast in the family. And then I was asking myself, since I started watching this, like, how come they never had any maids, any people working, right? And then you see the next day after he leaves, the kitchen is a mess. Like, none of you can pick all that stuff up, but you expect him to do it every time, right? He did it, no problem. He didn't, like, I'm not condoning the way he did it, but I'm just saying, like, you can understand why he felt like he needed to go do something of his own, because everybody in the family just cares about themselves, and they don't care about anything else. They just expect things to happen, like the dishes to be clean, breakfast to be made, a lunch to be made, all this stuff to be made, and it's on the father to do it. And it's like, that's weird, right? Everybody should be chipping in at some point. And then, so the mom had her own issue. And then this is the same point where, um, Dongi got mad at her when she came to present the guy that she was dating. And in this point, in this scenario too, I'm like, both of you are just thinking about yourselves here, because I don't understand why she wants to marry this man. This man cheated on her. This man's not even interested in seeing her. This man is not even interested in marrying her really because he loves her. He's interested in the building. And you see, like, as soon as they saw the mom, they were talking about everything they were planning to do with the gym building other than the gym, right? And you're like, why do you want to marry this man? But then, which is exactly what her mom told her. But then she got back, she argued with her mom, and she was like, well, you never let me do what I wanted to do. You never let me have my own dream. You always wanted everyone to do what you wanted them to do. And you wanted me to get married and have children to carry down the line. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So, like, what? To get back at your mom, you're going to marry a guy who doesn't love you just so that what? Like, it makes no sense. So, I don't know. This whole family is dysfunctional. So, and then you know, speaking of um uh Dongi, right? It's kind of seems like they're trying to, like, by the end of the show, like, her and Grace are gonna get together. That's pretty much where it seems to be going to me. Like, what's the trope? Like, enemies to lovers, because she still can't stand her, but the way they're putting them together, like, or even if they don't fall together, they're going to end up being friends. Because, like, Grace is not really a bad character. She's just she's just been trying to get the lead so much, because she's in the same position as Dehe, right? Because she's only with the woman because she owes her in one way or another, but they never explain that because she's not the main character. And even in the scheme too, she's not the main character, and that annoys her. And many times she tried to get the main character role, but the quote mom just won't give it to her. So um so now she's trying to, become friends with Dongi. But I feel like in the end they're gonna end up being friends or lovers, because she actually is helping Dongi out now, right? Like, she's been a good motivator to her. Like, she's the only one out of everyone who's noticed that Dongi has lost weight. No one in her family has noticed that she's lost weight. Her mom at the dinner, at the meeting that she did in this episode, was even like, "You lost weight?" I mean, you don't see how much weight this girl has lost? She's not even eating. She went to the hospital because she's not eating enough. And you're telling me you don't even notice? And that's what I mean by the mom is in her own world. She's just, everything is me, my dreams, my dreams. Like, and your dreams, your dreams, your dreams. You can't even see what's in front of you. You couldn't even see your husband was, quote, cheating. You can't even see that your granddaughter has powers. Like, you can't even see anything that's relevant. So it's like, what's the point of your powers? So, and then speaking of granddaughter, we finally find what happened in the accident. And, Ina's dad finally found out that she has powers. He hasn't told anyone else yet, so we'll see if in episode 10 he tells his mom that Ina has powers. But um, she she was able to tell her dad that, oh, now this is a good moment. Now it's a good moment. So like apparently when her mom died, she was able to read her mom's mind. And because while they were driving, pretty much the scene was, they were driving, they were going to the zoo or something, and the mom was like, don't you dare disappear throughout this whole thing. But he can't control it. If he thinks about it, he's gonna go there, right? So he so he disappeared, right? And then during that time, the mom is mad, and she's like, "We're gonna go somewhere else," and she's like, what about dad? She's like, dad can't come, right? Because the wife is over the fact that the husband keeps disappearing and going back to that day to try and save his boss, right? The firefighter boss. So he so she tells Inna in her mind, oh, this is all your fault. All because you were born, right? And then so Inna starts talking back to her, and she's like, "What? I shouldn't have been born." And that's why, like, she wasn't paying attention to the road, and there was already another crash. So when she swerved, her car went off the road, and boom, she died. Right. So ever since then, that's why Inna doesn't like celebrating her birthday, because she thinks that it's her fault that her family is this way. It's her fault that everything happened. And finally, the father was able to have that conversation with her and then telling her it's not her fault that everything happened. And it's not her fault because he wasn't going back there for her, right? He didn't keep going back to that moment for Inna. He kept going back to that moment to try and save his boss. And because he couldn't do it, that memory now turned into one, an obsession, and two, not a happy memory. So now so now he couldn't go back anymore because all of that no longer turned into a happy memory. And he completely forgot that the day that his child was born was supposed to be a happy moment for him. Right? But then it wasn't until he reconciled with her and that he was able to find that moment again. But even then, he didn't even like let her like rejoice in that moment that you were able to go back to the day your daughter was born. But no, like quick second later, he's telling David that, oh, I found the memory. Now I can go back and save you. Like, why do you need to do that? Why do you need to do that? She's alive and well. Like, but I guess because the cycle has to, keep going, so that's why he has to go back to save her. But I'm like, this whole thing to me is pointless. Okay? But the cycle must go on. But anyway, the way so and you know, with this whole situation, like the way he was able to find her or um well, he found her because of his future self came back and told them where she was. But with everything that Inna's going through at school, like, with that whole situation with her mom, she doesn't like um, looking into people's eyes, right? Because she finds things out that she doesn't need to know. So, um, when that thing happened at school again, they thought that she ran away, but she was really in the school's gym. And the bully went and locked her in there. But it was interesting that when they were um, trying to find her, it was the stalker guy, the uncle, that was, letting the dad know where she was, where she normally goes, her routine, which which is interesting because he knew her more than her father. Her father was pretty much a quote absent father. All he did was drink and drink again, right? So um so now he got a little glimpse into how his daughter is acting, and or how what his daughter likes to do and how she's always alone. And like he really needs to, you know, um be there for her more. And yeah, and what just annoyed me is that he should have continued spending more time with her. Like yes, he taught her how to ride a bike, but then he just left her alone, and then went back to the girl. Now granted, the boy did come and tell her like I'm gonna stay away from you now, so you don't have to run away. But she finally, came up with the courage to tell him that she likes him. And granted, the whole reason she runs away is because she knows the other girl likes him and the other girl is mean. And right now, she doesn't know how to really defend herself against her bully. And that's the worst kind of bully, because she gets other people to bull. It's the same as the girl in Marry My Husband. She'll act like she's your friend, but in reality she's not really your friend. And the only reason, in a can tell the difference is because she can read her mind. But you know how many people are like that and you don't even know? And just like Marry My Husband, she didn't know until it was too late that that's the kind of friend she had. The one that is nice to you, but then causes everyone else to be mean to you so that she can look like she's the nice one out of the two. And like that's the worst kind of bully because they're silent but deadly. If I'm being honest, I don't really understand the whole point of episode 10, because um I think it was supposed to be okay, the mom saw in her dreams that he he was going to die, right? So then she tried to make a deal um with Dehe to say that, oh, give him happy moments before he died, right? If I'm understanding that correctly. But then Dahe was like, she doesn't want to do that. If you want to like keep him from dying, he has to be miserable. So they wanted him to go back to his miserable state, right? Because she had a dream that he was going to die. So if he goes back to his miserable state, he doesn't have to leave, right? So she pretty much replicated the accident that happened with his ex-wife, um, and the same thing that happened here with her. But instead of her dying, he he she went to a beach to escape pretty much from everyone, including her quote mom. So I'm guessing she thought that, okay, with her gone, he was going to be miserable and start back drinking, which is exactly what he did. He started out doing, but this time around, pretty much came to help him and to motivate him to go back in time to to those happy moments, to figure out what exactly was going on, what was Dehe's state of mind before she did it. And and she actually helped him quite a while to keep going back, and they were able to work together to come up with that plan, which I thought was pretty nice, because you have daughter, um father daughter bonding time, but also him not succumbing to drinking, right? He got up and started doing his stuff. And pretty much towards the end, they figured out, where she was. And I do like that the guy, the uncle who helped Dehe with her plan, pretty much helped Inna, to tell her, like, hey, this is what's going on, by her reading his mind. And I find it interesting that he knows about the little girl's power, and that the mom doesn't know about the little girl's power, because that was like way too easy for him to do that. Like, he took off his sunglasses right in front of the woman, and the girl took off her glasses. I mean, but anyway, so pretty much by the end of this episode, Inna finds out that her dad was gonna die, which is why the mom did all that. But it's funny to me that they still don't know that Inna has powers. So it's like you have 2 episodes left. So it's like, now what's gonna happen? So with that plan pretty much gone, that means there's a possibility that he still might die. But it's like, okay, well, how are you gonna die? So I'm guessing the quote mom, that his mom is the one that's going to kill her, that's going to kill him, because that's the only thing that makes sense, because she doesn't want Dehe to go away. Is that it? Like, she doesn't want her to leave her or something. I mean, you told her in the beginning that once her money's taken care of, that you were pretty much gonna let her go, but now why would you go after him to kill him? So I don't know. To me, this drama sometimes doesn't make sense. That's why sometimes, like, some of these, um like, it takes a very good, going back to the future, back to the past type of show to really get me interested. Like, Lovely Runner was great with that, but this one is just like, it's pointless, because that conversation came up again, where the uncle asked her, like, okay, so you don't want him to go back to the past? Like, what if he what if he doesn't what if he what if he doesn't go to the past to rescue you? What if you just vanish? And I'm like, okay. And she's like, well, what if I did vanish? I wouldn't care. And I'm like, okay. I don't know. I guess I need to wait for the ending to make an overall judgment on the whole show. But one thing's for sure is that I'm glad that it's 12 episodes. And the one, and like the girl, and what annoys me also is the fact that she lost so much weight. Dongi lost so much weight in this episode, and her mom or her dad didn't even say anything. Like, no one even, like, said anything, and she's over here getting married next week to some guy that literally has a girlfriend. He called His girlfriend called him while she was trying on her wedding dress, and he's like, "Oh yeah, be quiet. I'm going to build you a restaurant. I'm going to get you a restaurant." And the restaurant is based on her money, Dongi's money. I'm like, no. In the next 2 episodes, she better, like, I don't know, like, make him squirm, like, do something, like, make him lose his business that you helped him start in the first place. I don't know. It's just crazy to me.
And this wraps up our journey on the Review Garden. Thank you for joining me today as we explored this drama. If you enjoyed this reaction and review, please remember to subscribe for more insightful videos. Don't forget to like this video and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your feedback helps our channel grow. As always, I'm truly grateful for your support and for joining me on this journey on the Review Garden. Until next time, and happy listening. Bye.